Edward Albee said, when asked about his process, Edward Albee said, well, I write to find out what I'm writing about. So, but yours, do you do an outline first, or it just kind of flows, you got it in there and you just let it out?
Okay, here's the thing with the ideas when they hit me. They're like lightning. One great flash, and then it's gone. So I keep notepads everywhere. I have a notepad by my bed. I have one outside.
Some of us call that a short attention span, by the way.
But I have one in near my in my bathroom near the bathtub. So as I'm taking a shower, my hand is out and I'm scribbling notes.
Yeah.
I bought I have an Apple Watch that has a tape recorder on it. So when ideas hit me in the car, I can simply hit it and so ideas. And then I put all those together, and then I start off. I write it in a notebook, and all I'm doing is working on the chapter, the creativity of it.
Handwriting in notebooks.
And since I'm the only one who can read my handwriting, it's practically code. Then I start typing it out, and that now I'm working not just on the idea, but on the grammar and the structure. And then it goes through all the editing process, which is, and as any writer can tell you, is very complex.
So the editing process. Tell us a little about the complexity of the editing process. You have to find an editor that you feel comfortable with, or you editing it, but someone else is editing it.
Yes to all. There's a saying in writing. I forget the author that said it, but that the first draft is just you telling yourself the story. After that, I go through a lot of steps first I edit it on the screen, then I print it out, then I change the font, and I just keep going. I even use a program on Microsoft Word so I can hear it. Then I can pick, okay, that sentence didn't sound right. After I think it's perfect, then I go to an editor who informs me, no, it's not perfect, and here are the reasons why. And I work with her. Actually, my wife is the first who reads. She reads it first and doesn't edit. Then it goes.
Editor number one, the wife.
Number one's the wife. Editor number two, and then once it's ready, I submit it to. I work with a publishing company called the Wild Rose Press, and they assigned an editor to me, who then goes through it as well. So it actually goes to a lot of hands. Once it's with the publisher, we go through a number of rounds, and then after we're done, it goes to another set of eyes within the company that reads it to look for anything that we might have missed, and it goes through all this before it actually becomes a book.
So you're Wildwood Press. So to
Wild Rose.
Wild Rose. Right. So to get Wild Rose, how did you go through and try to get an agent and submit your manuscripts to different agents, or how did you go about getting there this far and getting them printed?
Well, for the first book that comes out, it's a complex process. You're submitting to as many publishers are out there and agents. You're waiting to hear back from them, and basically once you hear from them, then you're choosing which publisher you want to work with. But you can get, if you're unknown, you can get about 100 rejections, unread, simply because they've never heard of you. And you're up against a lot of competition. When I first was a writer, you actually had to mail these submissions in. And it's a cover letter, it's a synopsis, and however many sample chapters they're asking for. Now everything's through email, which on the one hand, it's much easier than having to run to the post office with all these and put the packets together. On the other hand, there's a lot more competition because everybody can do it right from their computers. And you hope you hope that they see it and like it. They could be getting dozens a day, and if they choose yours, like first they'll say, okay, send us more sample chapters. Then they'll say, okay, send us the book.
Wow, that's great. A lot of publishers won't take unsolicited materials. You have to go through certain agents. That process always irritates me. But you were able to submit it to them without them soliciting.
A lot of publishers will. Some do want it solicited, and honestly, it could be harder to get an agent than it is to find a publisher, because their requirements, they're even more stricter because, they're taking a lot less clients than a publisher's going to take books.
Something that probably helped you here is this wonderful. Lift this up for everybody. This is a great award. Take a look at this. It's great.
Yeah. This is the Rhone Award. Rhone stands for Recognition of Novel Excellence, and there's a number of processes to get it. It's IndieTail magazine sponsors the Rhone Award, and that's considered the pinnacle of independent publishing. Everybody wants to submit their book to IndieTail magazine, and it's actually, they tend to be known as tough reviewers. Positive but tough. And in order to be considered for the Rhone Award to become a nominee, the first step is you have to get a 4.5 or a 5-star review in their magazine. And then the reviewer has to nominate you, what's called the gold, the crowned heart, for the Rhone Award. Once you're nominated for the Rhone Award, there's a voting process, which is a public vote. And anybody can vote, through their website. And they vote in each category for the book that they feel deserves it. At that point, Once the voting is done, they take the top 3 in every category, and it goes to a group of professional reviewers in each category, and they're given a checklist, and they read them separate from one another. Their votes are tallied, and that's how they determine the winner. And they usually have a big formal ceremony in October presenting the award.
I see this was 2001, so I don't imagine they had any
This was
public.
2021.
21.
This is actually the
Okay.
Witches of Vegas.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, good. But so 2021, they probably didn't have some big ceremony or dinner or public event, though.
It was done. It was done online. There was supposed to. It was actually supposed to be done on a cruise ship, leaving out of L.A. And because of COVID, they ended up doing it online. But better luck next year because it did win, and I'm happy to say that Journey to New Salem. They always do it for the books that came out the year prior. So since Journey to New Salem came out in 2021, it is now a nominee for 2022. So, and I'm also happy to say that it's nominated not only in the young adult category, but also for best cover, and the audiobook has also been nominated in that category.